Hello and welcome to the River Island Style Studio. My name is Farah Storr and I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Cosmopolitan magazine. I'm delighted to be here this evening with one of my all-time favourite Cosmo cover stars, the brilliant Caroline Flack, who tonight we're going to be celebrating her very first clothing collaboration with River Island, which goes on sale May the 30th, so make sure you put it in your diaries. And it's a beautiful capsule holiday collection, right? 19 pieces.
Yes.
And we're going to talk through the whole collection, how you wear it, a little bit later. So let's just start. So Love Island is hitting screens when?
On the 4th of June.
4th of June, okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about it, Caroline. So your career has kind of come full circle. You've done pretty much all of the major shows. But we've talked about this in the past. Love Island, how did it come about? And what convinced you that this was the show to do?
So it was a strange one, actually, because I remember the moment my agent pitched it to me, and I was sitting in a club in London, and he came in with 2 pitches, and he said, you've been offered to be the host of The X Factor, right, which was to do the main show. You've also been offered to be the host. They're bringing back Love Island. And I was like, oh my God, I love that show. He goes, but you can't do both. And I was like, well, why can't I do both? He goes, because you just can't, because the schedules would be conflicting. Right. So it was X Factor was one of those shows where it was so huge. It's such a big thing that I've been working towards. It was sort of a given that I couldn't turn it down. I just couldn't. But I said, but I really want to try and make Love Island work because I've just got a good feeling about it. I've worked for the people before. They were a great production team. Please, 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 can we ask Simon Cowell, please, Simon, if he can try and jet me back and forth to Spain? And he did. He was nice. So we kind of spent our time. There was talk of like a private jet at some point that was going to take me back and forth. That turned into a 4 a.m. EasyJet flight from Manchester every Thursday. And so I just knew there was something about the show. I knew there was something about it that I was going to love.
And talk to me about, because it's interesting, you won a BAFTA recently, the show won a BAFTA, and it was against Blue Planet in one of the categories. And so some people will say, well, Love Island, it's light entertainment. But actually, to make the sort of television that Love Island is, it's almost like a highly scientific formula behind it.
It is. And do you know what it is? And how I explain it is, it's a really simple show about a really complicated subject, because love is complicated in so many ways. And we are, admittedly, all completely obsessed with other people's relationships. And mostly because we relate to them. And we pick people on that show who are relatable, who will be vulnerable enough to sit there and tell people how they feel. And it's a sped-up version of a real-life relationship. And we all go, oh my God, I've done that. And that's how you get sucked in. And so there's so much more to it than what it is on the tin. It's not just girls and boys in bikinis trying to hump each other, although they do. It's the storylines that we fall in love with and we get hooked on.
Do you know, was there any point in Series 1 where you and the team realised, because of course it started, Love Island, the original series, Celebrity Love Island, was a very different proposition. I don't know if anyone remembers seeing it. But at what point did you realise we're onto a winner with this one?
I think with the celebrities, it's a bit more harder to let your guard down. Yeah. I think when you've been on TV before, if you're an actress or you're an actor, I think when you start relating to someone, that's when you get hooked on something. Yeah. And for me, I always side with the girls. I just do. For me, it's season 1. Season 1 for me was my favourite season, and I sat and watched it in my dressing room the first episode, and I said to my makeup artist, I think this is going to do really well. And it actually didn't on season 1, and there was a big chance that it wouldn't have been recommissioned. You know, that was a risk they were going to take, and I'm so pleased and grateful to ITV2 that they did, and ITV, because they took a second chance and they gave it a second series, and that suddenly went, whew, and it did. And sometimes with TV, they don't give you that chance or that take the risk to do it again. Sometimes you need it to sort of get in to the flow of things and find your feet.
So by series 2, which actually is when myself and most of my office joined, which was the Terry series.
Yeah.
Why do you think, it's funny, isn't it, you remember one character, but actually we talked about this, how important are the characters to the success of that show?
They're crucial. And it's not just one. You can't say, right, what makes the perfect Islander, because there isn't a perfect Islander. Right. It's matching them together. You know, you don't know. The show another thing is the show writes itself. We can't plan it, which is when I never know when I'm going to go in, because I don't know when they're going to need me. Right. They need me to do a walk-in to stir things up. Now, if things are going dramatic in there, they don't need me to go in. So it's when things start going a little bit slow and everyone gets settled, they're like, no, we need to mix things up a bit. So it writes itself.
So will you literally wait around, or can you be called from England going, right, things are going crazy in there, we need you to be in?
They're my first call. So I can plan anything, but I always have to stop whatever I'm doing, get on a plane to Mallorca, and walk in that villa.
And presumably, the more you are walking in the villa, the more sign that actually it's brilliant, because there's more that's being stirred up in there.
Absolutely, it is. But also, you don't want to go in too often, because you want them to go, what's that? You know, sometimes you might want to do it 2 days in a row because they won't expect it, or sometimes you want to leave it 2 weeks and then go in. So you want to make it unpredictable for them as well.
Tell me what it's like when, it's always funny because you see the whole house and then when you walk in, it looks like there's a completely different environment. What is it like?
It's like they all go on their best behaviour.
Yes, yeah.
But what's weird about it, and I can only, like, I'm a viewer. Like, if I didn't present it, I would watch it like everyone else does, and my life gets taken over by it. So when I go in the villa, 50%, actually a big part of me, wants to just talk to them all and go, oh my God, there's Chris. And then when Camilla was upset last year, like, it took every part of me not to go up her and give her a hug, because that's what everyone wanted to do at the time. But then also, I've only got one chance to deliver that news. You can't deliver it twice. Yeah. So I have to get it there and then. So then my professional side kicks in. It's just like, it's all these manner of emotions. It's just really weird.
You're not allowed to, so even if, exactly like Camilla, where your human instinct is to go and
or even just look at her.
You can't.
And just go, everything's going to be fine. But you can't, because you give it away. Okay. You just can't.
Tell me about what makes a brilliant Love Island contestant, and in fact, one of your favourites, and why?
You never know. You know, you see these casting tapes and you think, oh, they're going to be amazing. They've got certain personality. But what it is someone who's not afraid, and I guess you won't know it till you're in there, to tell someone exactly how they feel. And that's hard enough off camera, like telling someone you like them. So it's the ones who let their guard down, and actually they can walk in with a certain personality, but you break after 3 or 4 days, you can't fake how you feel about someone. And when you start liking someone, I get funny around them. I get like a bit nervous. So it's someone who's not afraid to say how they feel and become a bit more vulnerable, I guess.
So who was that for you? Who was demonstrating?
For me, my favourite Islander of all time is going back to season 1, and it was Jess who won it.
You can see that if you haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's still available to see, but she, to me, there was something that I don't know, I didn't have a lot in common with her, but there were parts of her I felt were really vulnerable, and I wanted to go in there and go and help her. I don't know. But she was good. She still won.
Is it the vulnerability that actually is what makes a brilliant contestant?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
I'm not saying they've all got to go in really vulnerable, like hell.
But can they keep up an act? Because sometimes you look at people, you can't keep up an act for that long.
Do you know what? That's what the viewers are for, you know? That's why you watch it, because you can tell whether someone's faking a relationship or not. And the viewers kind of control the show in a way.
Now, talk to me about, we talked about dropping in bombshells, kind of human bombshells, so like a muggy mic or a terry. What is the importance of throwing in a muggy mic or a terry?
Because what it does, and what Love Island is testing relationships. And it may be a sped up, fast version of a relationship, but we all go through moments where we're tested. And a lot of it is when another girl's on the scene, or if you see someone's ex, and things like that. So what we like to do to test these relationships that we're creating is, hey, let's throw in the hottest guy ever and see how they react. Or let's see how so-and-so is going to feel. I'm sure we put someone's ex in on season 2 or 1, season 2. And things like that really bring out like either the worst or the best in you. And then we see, you know, what someone's really like.
So we've talked a lot about Love Island, but let's just go back to kind of the beginning. So you're from Norfolk, small village in Norfolk. Yeah. Used to pick daffodils to earn money in your spare time.
First job.
One of the things that you've said in the past is one of the values that you really love is grafting, people who work really, really hard. Talk to me about how hard people look at you now and go, she's made it. But actually, how hard has it been? Yeah,
it's been hard. Hard but fun. I think if it wasn't fun, I would have given up in my mid-20s, because if it's not fun, it's just a nightmare. So.
Was there ever a point when you were close to going, do you know what, this isn't for me?
No, not giving up. I did phone my mum when I was like 27, because I still hadn't really broke into TV properly. I'd done bits and bobs, and I was like 27, and I phoned my mum. I was walking down the street, and I was like, Mum, have I chosen the wrong career? And she's just like, well, are you having fun? And I was like, yeah, but have I chosen? Is it too late to change my mind if I want to do something different? Have I chosen the wrong path? And she was like, do you know what? Even if you have, you can do whatever you want. You're young, you know, she said, you can talk to people. As long as you can talk to people and you're nice to people, you can do whatever you want. And I remember that conversation.
Do you think a lot of people say at 27, that's when they have a kind of semi-crisis of, am I doing the right thing? I'm looking towards 30. Was it about that for you? Because you hadn't quite made it at that point. Your success actually your big success came in your 30s.
Yeah, absolutely. 27 to me was definitely a turning point. I think I was much more scared about turning 30 than I am about turning 40. But that's probably just part of being in your 30s and feeling a bit more grown up and maybe being settled. But for some reason, I was petrified turning 30. Like, I was single, and I was like, oh my God, my life's over. Right. But it wasn't. I was 30. I was so young. Like, when I think back to being 30, I felt about 18. And I look back and think, you look so young.
But do you, because again, you've spoken about this, and it's really interesting, is that when you were coming up, wasn't one of the things you wanted to do was work on T4, and you wanted to be like a cool
I wanted
presenter.
to be a really cool presenter, but I never got those jobs. So I screen tested for MTV, I screen tested for T4, again, and Pop World and things like that, and they were just like, yeah, no, you're not right. And then suddenly I dressed up as a banana for Kids TV, and they're like, you got the part! Oh, I see. So then Kids TV for me was a massive learning curve, and I started that at 27.
And so does there come a point in your life where you have to accept, you want to be this, but actually your talent is over here, and what you have is something different? I mean, you're very commercial, people love you. Even though you were desperately trying to be the cool
I
MTV.
just wasn't cool.
Well,
yeah.
You are cool, but I can see it kind of in your 20s, that's what you want. Like, how disappointing was it when you never got those gigs?
At the time, it felt disappointing, but you learn your craft and you learn what you're good at, and you sort of have to learn who your audience is. Yeah. And Kids TV turns into family TV, essentially, and that was a really nice way to then sort of, you grow up with your audience. So I went from Kids TV to doing Gladiators, which the whole family would watch together, and then I went from Gladiators to do I'm a Celebrity, and then I went from I'm a Celebrity to do X Factor, and everything felt like it followed in the right way, and then Love Island.
Does everything feel, because you go from doing Kids TV, which I believe is really challenging, you do Gladiators, then you do Jungle, so you start to do, then you do X Factor.
Oh, then Strictly.
And Strictly.
Oh, yeah.
Do you always feel when you're in a job, because people, Cosmo always asks this, it's like, I always feel a little bit out of my depth. For you, have you always felt, actually, you should feel like that because you keep pushing yourself?
I love pressure.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's because I trained when I was young as a dancer.
Right.
And I think it's like, even in class, it's very disciplined. So the pressure's the thing that keeps you going. So I've always been very disciplined with what I do. But pressure to me only makes me work harder.
So you enjoy pressure,
Yes,
actually? Okay.
I do, which is weird. Does anyone else enjoy pressure? Yeah, it spurs you on, and it's good, and it makes you work harder. And if things go wrong, then so what? You get up and you do it again, but pressure's good.
But that's the dancing thing, isn't it? It's like you do a pirouette, and if you fail, you get up and you do it again.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you make it better and better, and you're always striving.
Yeah.
It's like the grind is kind of what is enjoyable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting to the point of success.
Yeah.
Let's talk about X Factor. So, biggest show on TV, and obviously you've got Love Island and you've got X Factor. What was that like, doing that?
So the first 3 years of X Factor, we did Extra, which was possibly like the most fun job in the world. And I was working with Ollie Murs, who ended up being such a close friend. And we would travel the world doing judges' houses. Do you know what? It was brilliant. And I made so many friends, and the production all became close friends. And then I left there to do Strictly, which was almost the sort of the wheels of it in motion. They're a similar show to where they're made. You know, the production of it is very similar, except I wasn't talking, I was dancing, so that was slightly different. And then I weirdly went back to X Factor, which is a really strange thing to do, because I don't know if any other industry you'd leave a job, go to another job, and then go back. Yeah. It's quite a strange thing to do, but because I was supposed going on to the bigger show, it was the big gig, and it was hard. It wasn't Extra Factor anymore. It wasn't like messing around and telling jokes and doing silly dances. Suddenly, you had to get everything right, or you were like slammed. And
you were following in Dermot's footsteps. So
well, that was probably the hardest thing.
Was it really?
Because Dermot's a national treasure, and he'd been doing that job for years and years and years. And I'd kind of learned off Dermot as well, because I'd watched him and learnt so much off him, And, you know, he gave me his blessing to do the job, and he was lovely, and it was all a nice handover. But it was a tough gig, I'm not going to lie. It was a tough gig to do.
Did it help having Ollie there?
Yeah, it did, actually. We'd confide in each other, and we were so close by that point. And I remember the whole drama over him making the mistake.
That's right.
Kind of coming off, and I found it quite fun, the whole thing quite funny, because in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that bad. No. And then everyone was so angry, and I was like, oh my God, what? You haven't done anything. He didn't do anything wrong. He just made a mistake. And then I was like, oh God, maybe I should take this a bit more seriously. But when you look back at it was quite funny.
Yeah.
So it's you can get really involved in your own mind sometimes and take things so seriously, but you have to come out of it and just think, in the grand scheme of things, it's an entertainment show.
But with something like X Factor, which is so beloved, do you, because you're right, when Ollie made the mistake, and I agree, it was actually quite funny, the backlash from the public, which of course now on Twitter you see it immediately.
Yeah.
Is that when you realise, God, this is a really big show that I've taken over, and everybody has an opinion on it?
Of course, yeah. And what's good actually is that I've been in both generations where I worked in TV where Twitter wasn't around, and I've then gone over to doing TV where Twitter is around. So I used to come off when Twitter wasn't around, and then you just get on with your day. Now you come off and you're like, oh, I looked huge, according to them. It's part of it.
Do you read
it? It is part of it. Not anymore.
Do you not?
No, I learned not to.
Do you know what the moment was when you went, I'm just not going to engage with this anymore?
It was after one of the X Factor shows. And do you ever do this thing, right? When you know you've got a bill that has to be paid and you don't open it, right? You know it's there, but you don't look. And that was what it was like with Twitter. I knew all the comments were there, but I couldn't look at them. And one day I just did. And it was horrible.
Was it really?
And then I thought, you know what, don't look anymore, because you're always going to find stuff like that. It doesn't matter who you are. There's always going to be people who are like going to say mean things, but you can't let it get to you.
No.
No,
let's talk about style for you.
Yeah.
So we look at you, perfect body shape. Actually, we've just been talking, you're like, I am so not. I have an unusual figure. Talk to me about...
I'm small, so short.
You're petite.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very
and I
petite.
have, like, curves, and I have to wear things that give me a waist. But they're my hang-ups that might not be there or they might be there, and I think everyone has things that they think about themselves, and I don't think that about you. So they're my little hang-ups that I have. But I think that's quite normal.
I think it's totally normal. So when you're designing this, so we talked about sample sizes, so you will get samples sent to you, and presumably then, we would imagine they would all fit.
They never fit.
They don't.
So when I go to an event, you get sent these sample dresses, and I mean, I'm so short compared to, most sample models who wear these.
How tall are you?
5'2".
Okay.
And they're either so long, or my body's too short, or all sorts.
Right.
So when I started thinking about designing the collection, it was just had to be for all body shapes, because a lot of clothes are designed for tall girls. They are. So it had to take all body shapes. No one's the same size. No one is.
No.
If an alien was looking down and read the magazines that we have, they would think, oh, these people all look the same.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, completely different.
Yeah.
But because you must get approached, and I know you've told me some of the funny collaborations you get offered all the time. River Island, why do this with River Island?
Well, we wore so much River Island all through the seasons of Love Island.
Okay. And
particularly last year, and I think one of the outfits we wore got such a big reaction that I was like, wow, it's they work really well on, my shape and for the show. It was a black embroidered jumpsuit with like flared sleeves, and we put a belt with it, and it just worked, and it was just brilliant. And there started to be a conversation between me and River Island, and I said I'd love to design a collection for the summer, and they were like, okay, let's talk about it. And then we talked about it, and a few meetings here and there, and then we decided to go for it.
So hang on, this sounds like it's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, last summer we started talking about it.
Okay,
yeah.
But it was a natural thing though, because you'd already been a fan of the brand, you already wore the brand.
Yeah.
And so it kind of made sense.
It made so much sense. And so I made a mood board, and I took it in, and I said, I want to do...
Start?
Yeah, I made a mood board, and I said, this is the kind of stuff that I've always wanted to wear and always wanted to do. And I wanted to get their reaction straight away, and they were just like, we love it. We absolutely love it.
Can you remember what was on that mood board?
It was very 70s, very hippie, festivally, kind of big round glasses, yellow T-shirts, denim hot pants. It was...
Where does it come from? I mean, because there was a lot of yellow in it, which is kind of very 70s. Like, is there any kind of childhood?
It's floaty. It's like... Right, here's another thing. I never wear tight clothes. First of all, I feel uncomfortable in them. Right. Secondly, I feel too hot in the summer to wear anything tight. Thirdly, there's so much of it around, and people love bodycon. And I was like, I want to design something that's sexy, flirty, but loose, and still can show your figure off, but it doesn't have to be like that.
Yep.
And the first thing I wanted to do was the freewheeling T-shirt, which is there, because it reminded me of a little T-shirt I had when I was a kid that my dad got me, and it said the word squirt across it. But that was at the time, it was a drink that was around, so it was a fizzy drink. And I saw it on an old photo when I was a kid, and it was on my Instagram, and I'm riding a little bike wearing this squirt T-shirt. And that's why I wanted to recreate that T-shirt. And
Did you put the picture on the mood board?
Yeah, no, I didn't put it on the mood board. No, but I should have.
You should have put it on.
So that was the first thing I thought. I wanted to do vintage T-shirts. And then my idea was to put Fleetwood Mac lyrics all over it, but apparently you can't do that. They wouldn't let me. So I wanted to come across with things like, go your own way, and like, I want to do it this way. It's like kind of just sort of independent kind of slogan. And then freewheeling was just perfect.
So how do you arrive with a mood board? How does that then because what I'm wondering is, how different is the mood board you came in with actually what we're going to go through soon?
So similar.
Is it really?
Yeah,
okay.
They took my vision completely and they completely created it, which I loved.
Okay.
And then materials to me was so important, because you can look at a T-shirt online and it can look like the perfect T-shirt, but if it's not the right material, that's everything you've just lost. So the materials of the T-shirts were crucial, and they literally just had a whole day where I just felt materials and went, that's the one, that's the one.
They have that vintagey feel to them, right?
Yeah, so vintage tee, yeah.
How difficult is it to do that? Is that literally you go, no, not vintagey enough, need to make it
It's
thinner?
actually quite easy once you find the right one, because you know exactly what you've got in your head, the kind of thing you want.
Okay.
And again, yeah, they just needed to be like a loose fit that kind of hugged.
Okay. Well, we'll go through them in a minute, and you can tell us how to wear them all, because there's some pieces which I have no idea what to do with, like the kimono, but you're going to tell me. But what about style? I mean, who do you look at and go, do you know what? That is kind of brilliant grown-up style. Is there anyone that you look at?
I think being petite, I've always looked up at Kylie Minogue. I think since a really young age. And just the way she's changed, and the fact she's 50 now and looks the best she's ever looked. Yeah. And age to her is not getting in her way, and I just think she's fabulous.
What is style, though, to you? Like, what do you think of with style?
It's, to me, I mean, it's an expression, an extension, I suppose, of who you are. Yeah. And it expresses sometimes how you feel. You know, if I'm having a day where I'm a bit, I'll put my boyfriend jeans on and wipe my hair in a top knot, sunglasses and some trainers. And if I'm waking up going, feeling a bit sassy, I'll wear something completely different. So it's also a mood as well. So
presumably, I mean, you're now in your 30s. Do you feel like a very different version to what you were back when you were auditioning for your T4 in your 20s, or do you feel like just a more rounded version of Caroline?
I haven't changed that much, but I'm much more rounded in many ways, but more confident because I don't worry as much.
And so how has your style kind of changed as well?
It's much more experimental now than it was.
Right.
I was much more kind of basics back then, but now I'm just a bit like, I just want to wear something really fun.
What about your peers? Who do you look at and go, do you know what, they always get it quite right?
All my friends have got different styles. All my friends. Oh, you mean my work peers?
Yeah.
Claudia Winkleman. I love the way she dresses. And she has got her own thing going on. And she owns it. And do you know who else? Rita Ora. Because she looks different every time she gets dressed. And it doesn't matter, she just owns it. She really does. I love that.
What is kind of a tip? I mean, you've obviously been styled, you style yourself, but also you've had loads of help over the years. So you get to learn these little tricks and tips that work. What's kind of a brilliant tip that you've...
If you're on telly, like, be comfortable. There's nothing worse than feeling uncomfortable. And dress for your shape rather than just for what's kind of around. There's nothing wrong with going back and wearing things you've worn over and over again, just rehash them. I've got a jumpsuit I've had for 10 years that I still wear.
And what do you
strapless,
do you wear
it's
about
brilliant.
with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black jumpsuit from somewhere else.
I think your next collection has to have a jumpsuit in it.
Yeah, it does.
Basically, it has to have a jumpsuit and it has to have a coat as well. And so, look, the collection, which we're going to start having a look at in a minute, this is supposed to be a holiday capsule collection. So the idea is you can take all of this on your trip.
In the suitcase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we talk through some of it now? And are you allowed to say whether you have a favourite piece or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I? Yeah. Okay. So this is another one I wanted to have a logo with. This is the Lovesick T-shirt. Now, this is when I'm on holiday by the pool. Especially like about 5 o'clock when maybe you want to have a cocktail or maybe something to eat, I would probably have my bikini on. And I want to put something over it that's kind of a little bit see-through, so you still have your sexy bikini coming through, but also something you can eat your dinner in and kind of prance around the pool in. And this is so gorgeous where if it gets a little bit wet, it looks a little bit sexy. Not like wet T-shirt sexy. Well, not like wet T-shirt competition. But, or I would pair it, which I paired it with when we styled it, just a pair of denim hot pants.
And well, hang on, what does it say?
Lovesick.
So this is what you're talking about with the vintage style, the feeling. It's kind of like gossamer, like it's so light.
It's so light.
And would you tie this?
No, I would tie the other one. This one I would either tuck in or wear loose and just walk around with bare legs with some flip-flops.
Okay, so this is definitely
I love this.
by the pool.
And I just like the word lovesick. I don't know why. I like the song by Friendly Fire's Lovesick.
Is that how do you come up with the slogans for it?
I wrote about 100 down and sent them over. Yeah,
well, most
that was really fun. Some of them are song lyrics,
Okay.
But I like Lovesick, and it's kind of Love Island related a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I've sort of had my heart broken 4 times. So there you go. I've been lovesick 4 times.
Is that right?
I just thought that actually. No, I have. No, I have. Yeah. My four loves. God, yeah. There you go.
Deeply personal T-shirt. Okay.
Okay. Oh, this is what I've got on.
Okay.
So this is a two-piece, and what's nice about this is I don't really wear crop tops. Never really have. And when I was at college, maybe I did when I was dancing, but I haven't been able to just because I don't feel they're right for me. But this sort of meets the shorts in the same way, and kind of looks a bit like a dress or a jumpsuit, but you've got a real hint of flesh, which I think is really sexy.
So how crop will it be? It won't. It'll be a tiny
bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think like you can still wear this kind of thing in your 30s without having it under your boobs, kind of thing. And it's kind of, do you know what it is? I like it because it's day wear and night wear. So you could wear it with kind of flat sandals in the day and then just put some heels on and wear it at night on holiday.
What about if you don't want to wear it with the shorts?
That with jeans looks lush. It looks really cute.
If you have a bigger chest,
it's fine, because I've got a huge chest, and it's absolutely... I've got huge boobs. And it's just nice, and it kind of... Because it's quite stiff material, it kind of holds your boobs as well, so you don't need a bra.
Okay.
Or you can wear a strapless bra underneath it, because the back is thick, like that.
It's lovely. I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Thanks.
Okay.
And I love yellow. So, let me talk about this. So, ever since I was in my 20s, I've been obsessed with Hawaiian shirts. And I will go to vintage stores and I buy blue Hawaiian shirts. I've got loads of them. Anyone who's been on holiday with me knows I never go on holiday without my blue Hawaiian shirt. It's really like kind of old now and disgusting.
Is it one? A bit like the jumpsuit. It's like one blue Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
You always wear.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, one blue Hawaiian shirt. Josie knows what I'm talking about. She's my best friend. Anyway, they're always for men.
Yeah.
When you go into vintage stores, Hawaiian shirts are always for men. And although I don't mind that because it covers everything up and they look cool if you tie it up, I wanted to do one for women. So this kind of replicas the old school Hawaiian shirt.
Except it's got a little tie.
Except it's got a little tie. So, and you can tie it up as high as you like because it's got buttons. So you can do it really cute so you can show your little abs off. Or you can wear it loose like that.
How do you feel about the trend for having underwear showing under this? So kind of leaving it open a little bit.
Yeah, nice. Really nice.
How do you feel about
your
male...
you could even do up to the top if you're feeling a bit shy.
Do you think your male friends will all be after this?
Also, yeah, all my male friends want this shirt,
yeah,
but I haven't told them it's cropped yet. So I said, yeah, it's for men as well, it's fine, yeah. They're going to have a shock. But I think we should do a men's one at some point. That'd be really cool. Do a men's version would be really cool.
So hang on, what are you going to wear that with? You can wear that with these little denim shorts here.
So I would wear, so this is actually, the denim shorts, yeah. There you go, with a little belt. It's perfect. I think we styled it like that.
How particular are you about denim? Because it's the nightmare, it's the kind of number one thing for people to...
So this was another thing, was feeling the denim was quite a process and going through it. And I like wash denim, so I like it to be a bit faded. I don't really wear a lot of dark denim.
Where is this going to sit?
This sits, it can kind of sit either right up here or in the middle. I quite like it when it sits in between your belly button and just above your kind of knicker line.
They're lovely, really lovely.
Now this dress is, for me, my favourite shape. It's like the ultimate shape because it takes you in at the waist. If I don't like showing my boobs off very often, I'm not a big fan of cleavage, and it kind of hides the fact I've got humongous boobs. So I like it.
So how does it hide with the frill?
Yeah, so it makes you feel slimmer. And if I was one part of my body I really like, it's my shoulders. So
never shown your cleavage then? Never.
I'm not really a big cleavage person.
So never done bodycon, never.
No,
show cleavage.
I don't know why. It's just not what I feel comfortable wearing. But I think this is the kind of thing that would suit all shapes and sizes. And I love it with the belt. You can kind of put any colour belt on that. You can rock it with a pair of boots, or you can wear it with sandals. And I just love it. This is the easiest dress to wear in the world.
I think. See you
I love
festival in that.
Yeah, it's a festival dress.
Yeah.
With a little
gorgeous.
hat.
It's
gorgeous.
I love it.
This is my favourite T-shirt.
So this is the squirt-inspired T-shirt.
This is the squirt T-shirt.
Okay.
And I just think it looks really cool. I love the font. I love the saying. I love the colour. I just think this is just, I would go in the shop and I would buy this. This is what I feel most proud. Like, you know, like being able to design your own collection as a girl is like, it's a dream come true. Yeah. I love going shopping and finding things. This is like going shopping but at home and drawing it and then they come to life. And seeing this come to life, it's so amazing. I feel so proud of it. This T-shirt, I feel so proud. I do, I love it.
Are there any pieces that didn't quite make it? Or is this kind of as many as you thought actually?
This is as many as we put down, really. Yeah, this was the vision we had. I haven't got is the kimono here? Because that's what I really wanted to... Oh, it's there.
It's here.
So the kimono is the one piece that most people have picked out. And all my friends have said, when I've said, do you want any of the collection? The kimono is the one. I want the kimono, I want the kimono. It's so cool. First of all, another thing on holiday, when you get up and walk to the bar when you're in your bikini, and you kind of got that feeling that your boyfriend's watching your bum as you walk away.
Or everyone's watching.
And I'm like, oh God, whack on that now. And it's great, and it's really sexy because it's got slits up the side, but it also looks so lovely. We styled it with like jeans and trousers, a little skirt, a white crop top, and you can wear it in the day, or in the evening you can put it over a dress and just look over some really short hot pants. It's so nice.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So basically, you would because the look now, of course, you'd wear it with some sort of denim and a boot as well. If you don't want to wear that by the poolside.
If you don't want to,
or you could just wear it at home.
Wear it as a dressing gown.
Yeah.
It's a really good dressing gown.
Yeah, the world's most glamorous dressing gown.
It's so versatile. It's brilliant.
That's what I'm going to buy.
So far been the most popular. Yeah.
Has it really? Yeah. I just, sometimes when I know you can't have favourites, but do you get an instinct, or when people see the collection, are you getting an instinct for what probably people are going to be going for?
Yeah, and also when I saw it for the first time, because you see it all drawn, but when I saw them in the flesh for the first time, that was the one that stood out to me, because I just think it's beautiful. So it's actually beautiful. And the yellow dress, which is just there, is kind of what I would like to wear on a first date dress for lunch or an early evening.
And it's the same thing again, so it looks like it's quite low cut, but actually it's going to cover quite a lot whilst it's very sexy around the waist.
It's so sexy. I love seeing just a little bit of leg, and it's really soft. I want it to be floaty, so it kind of sort of moves around when you walk, because I don't want it just to stand still as you're walking along.
Does it open?
It opens up, yeah.
It opens up, okay.
Yeah, it's really floaty. It's flirty. I like things to be like a sort of flirty dress.
Are you a flirty person?
I'm so flirty. I don't realise how flirty I am until I see myself back sometimes, and I'm like, that's quite shameful.
But do you flirt with... Because I think you flirt with women and men.
Yeah.
I mean, it's indiscriminate flirting.
I think it's just part of my personality.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it can be... Friendliness can be mistaken for flirtiness.
Yeah.
I was just being friendly.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that. I like being flirty. I think it's fun. It's nice. It's being nice, isn't it? So I think the collection has a flirty feel to it, definitely.
Yeah. And very quickly, just what is this here at the end? This beautiful kind of floral dress.
This one here?
No,
this one here. This one is, again, because I'm not very dressy up in the evening, so I don't, again, I would wear this in the evening with some jeans and some heels. But it's nice to be able to dress up. And I think this, for me, this is more, a little bit more structured, as you can feel. And this is what I'd wear, I suppose, on a night out.
For like a special night out.
Yeah, and I love the colour. It's gorgeous.
And then here, you can pop it all. You can pop it all in.
You can pop it all in a suitcase and take it away. And I've done some really cool sunglasses somewhere, but I don't know where they are, because I wear sunglasses all the time.
Yes, yeah,
especially if I'm tired.
Yes, I know. I'm aware
of
that.
It's easier than putting makeup on.
But also heels. You wear massive heels.
I love heels.
Yes.
So I've done a pair of. They're not here either, but I've done a pair of really high platform stripy shoes.
There, at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There they are. And here.
Ah, these ones. There are some huge stripy ones there as well.
There we go. And I've done a swimsuit. I don't know where's the swimsuit. The swimsuit's here. Ah. So look at this cool swim. This was in my mood board.
Wow.
And then I just think that looks really cool. You could put the swimsuit under the kimono. I just think it feels really 70s.
Does this open?
I mean, it can. It can open. But it's just cool. I love it.
I need to get in shape before my husband sees me in that.
Yeah, I've gifted this to my friend Lou. She's going to be wearing this. So there you go.
Amazing. So May the 30th goes on sale. I have a feeling that certain pieces are going to sell out very quickly.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think this will sell out very quickly. I think half of my office will be ordering this for sure.
Yeah, it's really
and the
nice.
little gold bag?
The bag I've done is, I don't know where it is, but it's a toweling bag. Hold on. Sorry. It's over here. Can't find it!
Yeah, I can see it.
There it is! There we go. So it's colour as well.
So is this on a strap? Or
it's
is
on a strap. And do you know what? I can't stand small bags when you can't get things in them. So this is big, you can get everything in there. A book. Ooh. Sorry, guys. A book. I mean, on holiday you could take iPhone, book, makeup, passport.
Love it. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's nice, isn't it? It's cool.
So we can probably start taking some questions then. Do we have... I'm sure we've got lots of questions from our Facebook and Instagram Live audience.
Yeah, so the first question is, if you weren't a presenter of Love Island, which other show would you love to present?
So if you weren't a presenter of Love Island, which other show would you love to present?
Do you know what show I love? Because I'm quite emotional. I get easily emotional. And I love Davina's show she does, where she reunites families and What's it called? I've gone blank. Long Lost Families. I love Long Lost Families. I would love to do something like that.
What about the other one where after a year they come back and there's...
Oh,
yeah, I know.
It's amazing.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I love Davina. But yeah, those sort of shows I love. I get
She
really
another
caught up in them.
person that you learnt your craft from?
Yeah, Davina to me was the first kind of presenter who talked to you like you were actually in the same room as her, not reading a script and stood on a shiny floor. You actually, oh my God, she's actually talking to me like she's talking to a mate. And I love that.
How do you do that? I'm just thinking for people here or our Facebook Live audience, how do you connect with people very quickly that you haven't met before? How do you create that intimacy?
You listen. So when I first started out, I used to ask questions, and then in my head I would go, what's my next question? And then I'd be going, oh my God, what's my next question?
Yeah.
Actually, a normal conversation that you have in real life never has gaps.
Yeah.
You don't sit having a coffee with someone and then there's like a silence in between an answer. Yeah. So if you listen to what they're answering, your next question comes naturally, and that's what you learn, how to do the proper interview.
Well, actually, all these questions here, we haven't even used any. We haven't used any. You pick up on the next thing.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Which piece of your new range makes you feel most confident?
Oof. Don't know if everyone heard that. Which piece of your new range makes you feel most confident?
Most confident. I think the blue shirt, because I think it feels like me. I really feel like me in it. I don't know why.
Are you going to ditch the other one now?
No, I still have that one. Okay. But this is a brighter colour, actually. This is a really lovely colour. And we ummed and ahed over the colour for so long. It was going to be pink, it was going to be yellow, and then it ended up being blue, and I'm so glad it's blue. I'm really pleased with that colour.
Yeah, you've got quite a lot of yellow.
I've got a lot of yellow.
You've got a lot of yellow.
I like yellow.
Another one is, how did you feel the first time you saw a finished piece in the range?
So how did you feel the first time you saw a finished piece from the range? And do you remember which the first piece was, actually?
It was the kimono.
It was
the first time I saw this, yeah. And I just thought it was, like, so beautiful. Because, I mean, seeing something like this and feeling it and watching in the way it moves is different to seeing it on a piece of paper. That's everything. And it just feels really, like anything you create and it comes to life, you feel proud, I think. Yeah. And it feels a bit pinch yourself as well, because you don't think those kind of things are going to happen.
Did you surprise yourself? Because when you know, people talk about imposter syndrome, and designing a collection is really hard, I imagine.
Yeah.
When you walked into it, did you think, God, do I know enough about this?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous that my ideas they'd go, what, you can't make that? But you know what, I was more surprised with how brilliant River Island were, and how they didn't just go, oh, do you know what, we're just going to put your name to this, and we want you to do something like this. They didn't do that. They went, oh no, we're going to take your vision, we can make it. And then any kind of query they'd have, they'd say, do you want it like this or like this? Right down to the tags, to these tags. I mean, it was every single detail. They let me decide how it was going to be, and I was so grateful for that.
Which is why the mood board actually looks very similar.
Just like it, yeah.
Looks just like it.
Yeah.
Yes. Any more questions?
If there's ever going to be another celebrity version of Love Island, which celebs would you want?
Okay, so if there was ever another celebrity version of Love Island, which celebs would you want?
Help me. Say people. Who would you put in?
Who was in the original? I remember there
Callum
Best was in it.
Who?
A bit of Ollie.
Do you know what? Ollie Murs is a great... Let's put Ollie Murs in Love Island.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I reckon he'd go on this one. Anyway, put him in with some girls in bikinis. He'd love it.
Come on. So Ollie, who else would you want? What women would you want in there?
I don't know. Anyone else? Who else would we put in?
Would you put Callum Best back in?
I would be. Do you know what would be really interesting? Just to put the whole original cast back in and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
How are you doing with your dating lives?
Well, there's Callum Best. Abby Titmus was in there.
Paul Denan.
Paul Denan was in there.
Yeah.
Lee Sharp.
Yeah. I mean, we could. ITV if you want to.
I would love to see what would happen. I bet nobody's drinking now. Everyone's in really good shape. It would just be really boring.
Yeah. No, I think it's better with the kind of people who are just not so aware of cameras, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think after you've worked on camera, you become aware of how they work, and you become aware of the way things are produced. It's quite hard.
And that's the point with why Celebrity didn't probably work quite as well
as this one. Yeah.
And the final one, how do you take your style from day through to night?
How do you take your style from day through to night?
So I'm quite daytime all the time, and I rarely really glam up. And I think I've always been like that. I don't think it's tomboy, I think it's tomgirl. And I'll be in an outfit in the day, and I'll just probably put a pair of heels on and change it to the evening. However, there are moments like the BAFTAs that just went past where I glammed up for like the most probably I've ever felt glam in my life.
Like on a different level glamorous?
Different, I looked at the dress when they brought it in and I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that dress any justice. And they were like, just try it on. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I put it on and I just felt like I did feel incredible. I tripped up the stage, but I didn't mind because it was such a good moment and it was a really hard dress to walk in. But yeah, it was nice.
Any more, or we're done with?
We can throw you another, that's not a problem. If you could get one person to model your new range other than yourself, who would you choose?
Yeah, who would you choose to model this range apart from yourself?
I mean, I said it earlier, I said Kylie would be a really good one.
Would you? Yeah.
Because I think I've just grown up with her. I was besotted by her since a really young age. Her changes, the way she's changed. I just love her. I met her a few times and I went really weird.
Did you?
Yeah.
But in your job, you meet your heroes.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to disappoint you. It's like you never meet your heroes.
She
never meet them. She didn't.
She said that she liked my new hair, and then I was like, well, that means you knew my old hair. Yeah. So I was, I don't know why I'm holding this shoe still.
Well, I'm still holding the bag.
But
it covers my midriff.
Yeah. So probably Kylie. Kylie would be a dream person.
Anyone else you've met where you're like, you are even better than what I thought you were going to be like?
Gwen Stefani.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you want to get as close as possible with Gwen, don't you? Because she's just porcelain and so ridiculously beautiful and so unique in how she dresses. And I maybe just kept getting closer. I was like, God, you're so beautiful. And I love her style as well.
When did you meet her? X Factor?
X Factor, yeah.
X Factor.
Yeah, so when they used to rehearse on the stage, and we always used to be just hanging around on Extra, just watching them.
Do you run out of things to say, though? So say you meet Gwen Stefani, someone you've always looked up to.
I didn't say anything.
You don't get weird. You didn't say anything?
Yeah, no. I wasn't allowed to say anything. Not from her, just it wouldn't have been appropriate for me just to go up to her and rehearsal and go,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Have you ever, just very quickly, because obviously a lot of your job is, I mean, it's similar to what I'm doing now, it's asking questions, it's probing into people's lives. Has there ever been anyone that you have found really difficult to be able to interview? And if that does happen, how do you get round it? How do you extract?
I've never experienced it. And mostly because, in a way, they're there to give an interview. Right. So they're not going to be difficult from the off. And I suppose they're there to talk about whatever they're there to talk about. And I generally find people quite easy to talk to in life. I'll kind of get on with most people, and I'm quite good at that, which is probably why I chose the job I do. And also, people tell me everything. I seem to know everyone's secrets, like my mates and everything. So I must be a good listener.
But you ask the questions as well.
And I ask the right questions.
You ask the right questions.
I'd probably be a really good detective.
Or a very excellent journalist. But presumably you can figure out, because I've found this knowing you for a little bit of time now, drawing out what someone is interested in, which I guess is a skill of presenting. It's like what they're going to talk about. Yeah,
and also another thing is I would hate with Love Island. Go back to Love Island. I'm the voice of the viewer, so everyone shouting at the TV wants to know what people think when they come off. I don't want to be that person that just sits on the fence and go, "How do you feel?" I'm going to go, "Why did you do that? Like, why did you hurt her like that? We want to know why, but why?" Yeah. And you've got to keep going, and it's kind of a bit interrogating, really, it's a bit mean. But if I didn't, then I wouldn't be the right person for the job. So I've got to have the confidence to do that.
Do you like doing it or not?
Yeah, I love it.
Interrogate, getting the answer out of someone.
Yeah, weirdly, I really like it.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay, well, I think we're going to close the Facebook and Instagram Live now. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Remember, 30th of May, put it in your diary. Caroline's 19-piece collection will be available to buy. And so now we're going to have a couple of questions from the floor, if that's all right.